delivering another essentials video to you guys. This time we're looking at something a little bit different to what we have done before during this series. So far, I've been giving you genre essentials and sub-genre essentials, which I will definitely be carrying on with, as I've liked doing these videos. I've found them fun to make, and I hope you guys are enjoying them as well too. But this week I thought I'd go for something different. Go for something that's different to a genre, something that is a feeling, something that makes you feel something. A feel-good essentials video. Albums that are just so feel-good, get you in such a great mood, rather than it being a genre essentials, which again, I still will keep going with, but I thought it'd be something different to provide with you guys here, as I haven't done anything like this before with this series. And I think I might even take it beyond just feel good in the future, maybe some different types of feelings that you want to get from specific albums. Perhaps you can even suggest your own in the comments. But of course, you can fast track your requests for any genre that you want to see on this channel through my Patreon. So please do check it out. Please do go support me over on there. And you can also join the Discord server as well, where we're doing all kinds of March Madness brackets at the moment and having a lot of fun discussions over in there. So please consider that. But yeah, here we go. Feel good albums. Recently, when I was listening to a specific album that will be on this list, I was kind of thinking about albums that just get you in that particular mood, that get you really, really feeling positive, that uplift your spirits, that uplift your day, that just get you in that really, really great mood. Perhaps you were already in a good mood, but it just lifts your mood even further, or something that perhaps was improving a really terrible mood. And I feel like these 5 albums all embody that feeling, because sometimes you just need that, and music can really sometimes be the only thing that gives you that feeling. I mean, I'm not saying it is the only thing that gives you that feeling, but sometimes it can be the only thing that gives you that feeling, you know what I mean? So of course, these are my picks, these are going to be my 5 picks, and obviously if you have your own picks that are different to this, that you want to suggest that I hadn't considered, please in the comments let me know what you would pick as your own 5 essential feel-good albums. But these are going to be my 5. Have to mention St. Pepsi Hit Vibes first. Not only because it is probably the least recognizable name here, so giving it the first mention might do the album some favors, but also because it is just a ridiculously uplifting, feel-good album. I truly am in awe of this album every time I put it on. It is just pure summer vibes from start to end. Good God, this artist is truly fantastic at looping samples, looping repetitive vocal samples, and all that kind of stuff as well, for just the pure joy of it all. You've got these really bouncy house bangers from start to end. Better is just ridiculously good and so joyous and so infectious, as well as every other track on this album as well. It's really short, it's quite straight to the point, and what it's doing is pretty clear, and it sets out to do what it's setting out to do almost immediately, with just how fired up and hyperactive these tracks are. But they're just so they sound so simple. Like, it sounds like what's going on here isn't even that complex, but yet it's just done ridiculously well. I've never quite heard an album that hits the spot like this one in this genre of music. It is so lively, and it's so fun. Love St. Pepsi, a truly underrated artist in the electronic world of music. Truly underrated. And yeah, Hit Vibes is one of the best of the 2010s in my opinion. I was foolish to not even include that in my 2010s list when I did that, but goddamn, it has to be there. Chaka Khan, What You Gonna Do For Me? This was the album that got me thinking about this video, man, because a few weeks back, or maybe even about a month ago or so back, I was listening to this. I was cooking, I was making some nice food. This is a great cooking album, by the way, as well. I don't know if that can be its own separate style of video, but I'm not going to do a cooking albums video. I think that would be quite random. But just in case you wanted a cooking album, please put this on when you're cooking, because it really hits that spot as well. But god damn, this is a great album that just is so infectiously groovy and funky and soulful and disco inspired as well. Chaka Khan, even though she gets her props and is a name in music that people do celebrate, I can't help but feel she is also somewhat underrated and overlooked as well. I mean, goddamn, she really nailed it on this album. And yet when you talk about Chaka Khan's music, I never really hear this one get brought up. You obviously always hear I Feel For You as being one of her best singles, but my God, We Can Work It Out and What You're Gonna Do For Me as a title track are stellar songs, and goddamn, her voice is just so bloody good. Like, it is excellent. It is excellent from start to end. Yes, that isn't the only selling point though, because these tracks, like I say, are just so joyous and so great to listen to in any moment. This album right here will lift your spirits. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Wanted to mention the Gaslight Anthem as one of my picks here because I feel like 59 Sound is exactly the kind of album that puts you in a feel-good mood. In fact, I was just listening to it before this video while I was doing some shopping, and it was a great accompaniment to that activity. What the hell am I saying? I don't know. But anyway, I think in terms of these revival acts that are trying to pull from the Bruce Springsteen days, the Tom Petty days, who is literally referenced on this very album, you can clearly see what their influences are on this thing. And I think out of all those artists that are doing that, you can't really deny that the Gaslight Anthem were one of the best at doing it. These tracks are super like lively and I guess just really earthy. Like, there's something so down to earth about this album. It's so humble in how it's presented. Some of the tracks actually have some pretty negative emotions coming through in the lyrics, which you would expect this to not be in this category for that reason, and yet it never dims the songs down. They're always so anthemic. The choruses rock really well. The guitars are fantastic. Like, there's just so much emotion behind so much of what it's saying that you kind of just want to sing along to everything, even when some of the lyrics are a bit kind of depressing and a bit sad. And yet I still feel great whenever I listen to this album. It's a great feeling that this album gives off, and it's fantastic how they were able to achieve what they did. So yeah, this is in my 5 essential picks for sure. Oh yeah, we gotta do this one. We gotta do this one. I could say any Stevie Wonder album, to be quite honest with you, but no, Songs in the Key of Life is something else. This album is truly special. Only recently realised how basically this is a perfect album and is in my list of 10 out of 10s, which is quite a short list, to be honest with you, when you factor in the amount of albums I've listened to across my lifetime. This has to be in that elite club, that really niche elite club of very few albums that just feel from beginning to end perfect. And I will do a separate video on Stevie Wonder one day, because I have to, because that man is just a joy to the world. He truly is. But Songs in the Key of Life, I mean, one of the things that I think makes this album really great to include in a list like this is that there's so many bloody tracks. So you're getting so much infectious joy from start to end, but also the fact that it is split into 2 discs makes it quite easy to maybe just go with one disc and then leave the other disc for another day. Like, if you were, tied for time, you didn't quite have the energy to sit through nearly 2 hours of music, it doesn't really matter. You could pick side A, which has some amazing tracks on it as well. I Wish, of course, fantastic song. And then you could just pick side B as another album that you want to sit through, and yet they're both feel good and they both bring the same emotions out of you each time. So that's a great pro for this album as well. But goddamn, some of the best writing ever is on this album. Some of the most infectious, fantastically written songs ever. Some beautifully written songs like Knocks Me Off My Feet as well. Like, this album just has it all. It's just oozing with positivity in a way that I truly don't know many other albums can compete with. It just is, it's one of a kind albums in that sense, that I just feel like it just is the embodiment of happiness from start to end. This is the happiest album I think you will ever hear. It's truly special and is, yeah, one of the greatest of all time, and will put you in a great mood regardless of what day it is. And like I say, pick one of the discs, it doesn't matter. Listen to the whole thing, it doesn't matter. It will lift your spirits, I guarantee. Finally, with my fifth and final pick, we're going with Modal Soul by Nujabes. A few weeks back, I remember I was actually not in the best of moods, and I was like, this is the one album that I need right now. And it did improve my spirits, I must say. It really did make me feel good after listening to it, which proves that it is totally worthy of being in this 5 Essentials Feel Good Albums list, because it did exactly what I wanted it to do. This album is so positive in the way it sounds. It's not really like many other hip-hop albums out there. It has quite a summer feel to it as well. The verses from the rappers are just oozing with, again, happiness. I keep using the same words, but it's hard to really use any other adjectives at this point because all these albums offer a very similar thing. But when you listen to a lot of rap albums, and this isn't a bad thing, by the way, there might be more deeper lyrics, there might be more kind of harder, kind of harsh reality lyrics that come through, and obviously that's made the genre what it is today, of course. But Nujabes with Modal Soul, I mean, there aren't really any lyrics like that. And it's quite a rare thing to find in a hip-hop album, you know. Usually there's some kind of deep topics being discussed at least somewhere, or if it's kind of some dumb, fun, party type music, then that's also a side of hip-hop that you can get as well. But this album doesn't really have either of those sides, and it just feels so like wisdomful. Like every line, every lyric that comes through from any of the guest features is just there to kind of like offer you a helping hand on a hard day. It's a really rare find. And then of course the instrumentals that are just so soothing as well from Nujabes. A truly sensational album. Modal Soul is one of the best of the 2000s quite easily. And yeah, had to include it on this list because it's a rare thing for its own genre and a rare thing to find in music as well. And that's it from me. These are my 5 essential feel-good album picks. And I hope you agree and got something out of this video and maybe got some extra recommendations as well. Please, of course, let me know what your picks are in the comments. Please also check out my Patreon as well, as it'd be great to see more people over on there. And that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, a little bit different from what I've done before, but I would like to see some feedback in the comments for future videos as well that I could do in this similar style. And yeah, of course, as always, like the video, share it around, that would be fantastic. Have a good day, subscribe, and goodbye.